This is Arthur Robinson Jr. I am the creator and host of the Powerful Interviews podcast show. Today, you're going to experience life-changing information that you will not find anywhere else. I have secured an incredible interview with a great friend of mine. He is a successful businessman. His name is called The Smart Guy. The Smart Guy, he breaks down in layman's terms in this exclusive interview how you can build a revenue-generating business. Also in this interview, The Smart Guy, he breaks down in layman's terms how you can have a phenomenal team to help you build your business and build your top line revenue in your current business and much, much more. So remember, this is not BS information. The right information will change your current situation. Wealthy people, they take advice from other wealthy people, and unfortunately, broke people, they take advice from broke people. So right about now, go get your pen and your pad, sit back and relax, and write down some notes. In this interview that I'm going to reveal to each and every one of you with my great friend, successful businessman, his name is called The Smart Guy. This interview, it will change your life. And don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel and turn your notifications on. That way you'll be well informed when I publish more business interviews. So check it out. I'd like to welcome the one, the only, the powerful Smart Guy to the show.
Oh man, thank you, man. Thank you. Hello everybody. And for the ones that know me and for the ones that know me even better, you know what we do. And it's all about, creating the world that our people deserve to live in. And it's all about creating the world, the atmosphere, and the spaces that our people, earn. And I love what you're doing, brother. This is why I'm here. And I hope that this conversation sheds a much needed light on those dark spots of entrepreneurship that most people come across. And I'm very
Absolutely.
I'm very direct. I'm very consistent with the message points, and I'm very unapologetic with the information. And all my information comes from experience, trial, error. So for the viewers out there, let this conversation be the wet floor sign for your journey down this path, to success.
Absolutely. I agree with you. To everyone that's listening and watching right now, highly recommend go and get your pen and your pad right now. My great friend Smart Guy is going to break down layman's terms about the power of entrepreneurship. And we're going to talk about wealth building. Is that correct, Smart?
Yeah, 1,000,000%. Sure. Okay, so
now what I'd like to know, and can you explain to the audience in layman's terms, who is the phenomenal Smart Guy? How long you been in your powerful industry, and what is your expertise?
So I've been doing music, motivation, selling products. I have a couple cosmetic companies. I white label a lot of companies. My area of expertise is direct to consumer. That's my area of expertise. To be direct to consumer. Developing products, identifying an audience to sell those products to, creating cutting edge marketing strategies, and then just selling those products. So that's, I would say my expertise is, direct to consumer in sales. And I've been in business since, I'm going to say 2012. But I'm just starting now to, get the notoriety, what I've done, which wasn't part of the plan, but, everything happens for everything happens for, a reason. And just to add on to what you said earlier, I really believe that God is using me. He's using my voice. He's using my testimony. He's using my story. He's using my words of wisdom to help people all over across the world, specifically our people, Black people. My mother was a drug addict. Never knew my father. I was actually molested by my mother. I spent a large portion of my life in prison, in the system, in group homes, in shelters, and drug programs. And I was able to turn my life around. And, you know, as far as my education goes, I got a GED in prison. But I knew I was special because I got a 4,000. I got a perfect score on the GED, right? And when I took an online aptitude test, my IQ was genius level. So I knew in terms of education, it wasn't how far I went in terms of certifications, but just how far I could go in terms of my level of understanding. So when I got out of prison with my GED, I went to the library. First thing I did was I got a gym membership and a library card because I knew I would have to keep my mind stable and, you know, my body fit and in shape. And, you know, I went on a 2-year journey of just research and development. And during that duration, I found the best viable business is direct to consumer. It sells. People use products, people consume. The consumption rate in America is through the fucking roof. So I knew this was the business that I wanted to actually be in, which was sales and direct to consumer. And I had it tough because I didn't have any support. So the motivation and me, you know, me speaking, it came from the conversations I had with myself. I'm now sharing with the world. Same conversations I had with myself when I was in a group home. The same conversations I had with myself when I was homeless. The same conversations I had with myself when I was couch surfing. Same conversations I had with myself when I got out of prison and I had not even a fucking clue how quickly I was going to be able to adjust to society. These conversations I would have with myself. I am beautiful. I am special. You are smart. You can do this. You can do this. You can do this. And it changed my life. It literally turned me from going in the wrong direction and I got on the right direction. And then I realized that you can time travel through meditation. And it was conversations that I needed to have with my mother that I never had. And those conversations were supposed to build up my confidence, build up my self-esteem, build up my character and tenacity and focus and discipline and motivation. I never had those conversations with my mother. She tore me down. She never built me up. My father wasn't there. He was absent. So I never had anybody there to tell me how special I was. So I developed this approach and I would meditate. I would close my eyes and I would envision myself going into a time machine and going back to a time in my life when I was 5 years old, being abandoned by my mother in one of her friends' apartments, and no one's there. Her friend is supposed to be babysit me. She's going out to get high. I'm all alone in a weird apartment, and I'm just afraid, so afraid that I could damn near paralyzed. And so through meditation, I get in the time machine and I tell my younger self, you're going to be okay. Come on, come with me. And I pick my younger self up and I jump up and I hold my younger self, holds my older self, and we go back, and we go into the time machine and we leave. And this kind of a mental exercise helped me put a voice in my younger mind that I'm now the beneficiary as an adult. Because when I'm faced with adversity, I hear a voice in my head saying, keep fucking going. When I'm faced with challenges, I hear a voice in my head telling me it's all right. And that voice is my own voice, which I implanted and inserted into my own mind through meditation, through time travel. This is the real thing. And I found out by studying psychology, by studying how the mind works. This is why I came up with a mantra. How you think creates how you feel. How you feel becomes an emotion. That emotion becomes a vibration. And that vibration becomes a magnet that attracts things to you. How you think creates how you feel. So every day, if you want to be successful, you have to identify how you're supposed to feel or how you need to feel in order to execute at the highest level with the highest level of confidence. And, this is what I did. So again, not to be long-winded, the conversations I had with myself that helped me become successful is now the conversations that I'm sharing with my people and sharing with the world.
That is absolutely amazing. And I know that you say you sell direct to the consumer, which is a powerful blueprint. But have you ever thought about selling B2B, business to business?
Depends on the product, depends on the business, depends on the payout, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you asked me, my expertise, and I'm only going to speak on what I've actually done, which is direct to consumer. And so my business model is very simple: buy, sell, profit. My first product, I bought jeans. The jeans were $15. I sold them for $50. My profit was $35. Every 900 units I sold, I pulled in $31,500. Took me about six to 7 months to move my unit goal. So buy, sell, profit, unit goal. You need to figure out a product that you can purchase for the cheapest. You need to create a price point, right? A sell, and then identify how much you profit, and then set a units goal. That's the infrastructure for direct to consumer. Buy, sell, profit. So you write on a piece of paper, right? You write on a piece of paper, buy, sell, profit, right? Write on a piece of paper, buy, sell, profit. Under buy, it was $15 for me. And I factored, so that out of that $15, I'm selling it for $50. My profit was $35. My unit goal was 900. So every 900 units that I sold, I would make $31,500. And then now that's the infrastructure for direct to consumer. The product was jeans, which was clothes, right? Apparel, right? And then now I had to identify consumers and customers. So I would make lists, and I called this thing I like to call it chopping the tree, right? Chopping the tree down. So I would travel, go to areas, go to businesses, and collect people's numbers, emails, social media accounts, Facebook pages, whatever, any form of contact, physical or digital, I would acquire from potential customers, and then I would interview those people. I would ask those people, hey, do you have a job? And then I would only now my vetting process for my first customers, you had to have employment, right? So my first wave of customers, if they weren't employed, I wouldn't move forward with the solicitation. I would back off and say, hey man, I'll keep in touch. And I would put them on a back burner. But my priority customers were people who had jobs. Then I would ask them, hey, when do you get paid? Oh, I get paid Wednesday. I get paid Thursday. I get paid. Then I would make a list of the people who got paid on those days. And then I would reach out to them a day before they got paid, a couple of days before they got paid. I would try to, meet up with them and sell them more. And then eventually I found my rhythm. And then I was able to sell the product and then eventually meet my unit goal, which was tough in the beginning. But once I met my unit goal, then I was able to create loyalist groups and loyal customers. And that was how I scaled, my approach to direct to consumer. And
that's absolutely powerful.
And again, I think everybody's looking for the AI answer. There's no answer. You have to, every no will eventually turn into a yes. Every no, this is the mindset behind the structure. This is the mindset behind the structure for direct to consumer. Every no will eventually turn into yes. And every unit goal that you have has a specific amount of no's assigned to it that you must deal with before you accomplish your unit goal. So you have to be willing to basically get rejected, and you understand that the reasons for you being rejected have nothing to do with you, but everything to do with the customer's interest in your product or their finances or their inability to purchase what you're selling.
Absolutely. And I love that powerful statement that you made. Every no eventually turns into a yes. And for me, in the world the business, I embrace the word no. And when someone tell me no, I don't even focus on that. I just move on it and I just create and develop meaningful relationships through effective communication. And the word NO stands for next opportunity.
Right, right. Or you know, and what another thing I realized is someone can tell you no on Monday, but yes next Monday. Right? So,
Absolutely.
you know, you don't take nothing personal. You have to commit to the solicitation. You have to commit to the sale. You have to commit to the sale. If you don't commit to the sale, you won't sell shit. Right? Now, you have to always put yourself in the customer's shoes. There's an oversaturation. There's so many products, goods, and services people have access to consume. What makes you different? What makes you special? And I can tell you, there's nothing special about you in the entry level stages of any business that you start. You learn how to create your value that you add to the customer. You learn how to identify that it's not about you, it's about the value that you add to the person that you're selling to. And then you learn over time. And then you also learn that it's about having a conversation. Sales forces you to master conversational skills. So now you turn into a conversationalist. You know how to give people compliments. You know how to give people inspiration and motivation. And you know how to, provide a shoulder to lean on, a shoulder to cry on, or an ear to vent to, right? You know how to become, a support system or a crutch for your potential customers. This takes time. Now, when you go through the no's are just your inability to get yes. And when you accept no for what it actually is, which is just preparation to prepare you to position yourself to acquire yes from your customer, then you can receive the no with confidence and good feelings.
I agree with you. Sales is the avenue to more revenue. Now, there's a lot of ground I want to cover during this interview because you already are bringing a lot of undeniable value from our audience.
Right.
I want to switch gears and I want to ask you, let's have a conversation about money. Now, I know money is not value. Money is just a facilitator to do transactions. Can you explain to the audience, how would you define money?
Well, money is different things to different people, right? Money is a reward for hard work. Money is only an extension of the recipient. Money amplifies who you are. Money gives you more opportunities to be more of who you are, more of yourself. Money can be heaven, money can be hell. Money can be good, money can be bad. It just depends what wallet is coming out of. I like to view money as an option creator, something that creates options for me, something that is employed by me, something that works for me, not works against me. And I think it's very important not to buy into the rhetoric of making a lot of money won't make you happy. Money doesn't have the power to make you happy or sad. Money is just the great mirror. Money is the great revealer. Money amplifies who you already are. Money gives you more options and opportunities to be who you already are. If you're broke and unhappy, you're going to be rich and unhappy. If you're broke and happy, you're going to be rich and happy. So it's very important to understand that money is not nothing more than an extension of, who you are, your business, or whatever. So I view money as an amplifier. I view money as something that, gives me options and gives me opportunities. Also helps me purchase the things I like. This is how I view, I view money, so to say.
Mm. You said money is an amplifier. So would you say that money is the byproduct of the value that you uncover?
Money, money is a byproduct of the value that's already there in terms of yourself,
Mm.
right? So,
Mhm.
to be technical, it's all an illusion, but I don't want to go on a tangent that could kind of be like so too philosophical. But I feel like
Mhm.
I feel like money should be the secondary focus. You should yourself. You should prioritize making sure that you're um, emotionally stable. Your mental health is in good standings. Your health is in good standings. You're at the height of your health. You're at the height of your emotionalism. You're at the height of your intelligence. You're making sure that you're good first, and then you're going to acquire or make acquisitions that are financial. And I feel like that be the focus, because money is nothing more than a parked car. Now, that car is going to go where the driver takes it. See? So if you're drunk, if you're inebriated, if you're intoxicated and you get behind the wheel, that might be the last time you get behind the wheel, right? If you don't have a license, right? You might go down a one way when you should be going the other way, right? But if you're a responsible driver, if you're a defensive driver, and you're aware and you respect the rules of the road, then you'll get to any destination you decide to go to, you know, swiftly and safely. So money is just a form of transportation. Now, where you go depends on where you go, or where you want to go depends on you. So that's why I said it's very important to prioritize yourself first, and then making money secondary.
Mm. Smart guy. I appreciate you coming on my show today because the whole premise of my show is to educate entrepreneurs and business owners on a national, international scale that they can live the life that they truly desire, but they have to be open to these important principles. So I don't like what I see with some of the news, so I create my own news.
Right. So again, creating a life you want to live has everything to do with visualization. How you think creates how you feel. How you feel becomes an emotion. That emotion becomes a vibration. That vibration becomes a magnet that attracts things to you. Secondly, how you feel is important. So identifying what is the destination that you want to reach as an entrepreneur, as a businessman, as a businesswoman, your business, what is that actual destination? And then can you close your eyes and can you visualize being at that destination? How does it feel to reach that destination? You're in the car that you want. We're no longer going to call this is not your dream car. This is your reality car. You're in your reality car because now you don't have dreams anymore. You have reality. So you're in your reality house. And how does that house look? How do you want that house to look? You're in your reality car. How do you want that car to look? Okay. Your bank account, you have the reality number in your bank account, right? And so you want $50 million, you want $5 billion, $500 million, you want these type of numbers in your bank accounts. How does it feel when you type in your passcode, and you look at your account and you see those numbers in your account? How how does how do you feel? How does that make you feel? Do you feel at peace? Do you feel relaxed? Do you feel excited? Do you feel like a kid the day before Christmas, looking at the Christmas tree in anticipation to open up all those boxes because there's 300 boxes under this large Christmas tree and they all got your name on it. And you could tell by the shape of the boxes that everything you wrote on your Christmas list this Christmas is on your Christmas list is actually under the tree, and it's not a piece of paper. It's the actual things that you wanted. How does that fucking feel? And then hold on to that feeling, and then hold on to that feeling, hold on to that feeling. And then what I want you to do is I want you to project that feeling. I want you to create that feeling, like you see the energy, see the frequency, see the frequencies, see the vibrations, see that feeling. Like now, what is the tangible, description of that feeling, and then put it in a bottle, put that motherfucker in a bottle, and then store it deep in your subconscious mind, because that actual feeling is the thing that is the magnet, because that feeling is a vibration, and that vibration has a gravitational pull. And the more and more you indulge in that feeling, in that vibration, now you're using the magnet of your own positive feelings about acquiring what you want to acquire and what you desire. And then now you are magnetized, and those things will come to you. You see? So how you think creates how you feel becomes an emotion, that emotion becomes a vibration, that vibration becomes a magnet that attracts things to you. But you have to have the courage to sit and visualize. This is the same thing I'm teaching my business partner and my manager. He has to have the courage to visualize. I'm not exempt from, critiquing my own personal circle, right? This is important, because, my manager doesn't, and I'm telling you now, yo, what are you doing? Yeah, right. No, this is what you got to do too, motherfucker. See, because you just listening, and you're not a fan. You're part of my company. So now you got to understand, bro. Like, you have to see, because people could hear it, but they just take it for face value. They take it with a grain of salt. You fucking entrepreneurs out there, stop listening to all these videos, because you're very blessed to come across a video like this with this messaging. So don't take it for granted. Apply this shit. This is the thing that will change your life for the better. You have to visualize, what do you want, and how does it feel once you acquire what it is you want. And you have to hold on to that feeling. And when you travel, that feeling is like a cologne that you spray when you're out working on your vision and your dream. And that cologne is like a fucking magnet, and you're spraying that cologne all over your body every single day. Heavy on the spray too. And then all your desires will be actually materialized and manifested.
That was a powerful message, Smart. And what you just basically displayed to me and the audience is true phenomenal wisdom. And I love your acronym in regards to your name: success, motivation, ambition, righteous, and truth. And you just spoke your own truth. And once you speak your own truth, that message gravitates, and it brings and it pulls in people that are in line with your mission.
Right.
Let's have a conversation about what it truly takes to be an entrepreneur. Now, the word entrepreneur means entreprendre, and it was a Latin word, and it was invented in the 15th century in France. And a gentleman by the name of John Baptist, he invented the word, and over 300 years later, that word still exists, which is entrepreneur. So entre means between, and ponder means to take. So it means to take lower productivity and increase it to higher productivity. Can you explain to the audience how you're increasing your productivity in your current businesses?
The key to increasing your productivity is to be extremely organized, right? So what I like to do is I like to timeline each day. So I identify whatever the task is, how many hours I'm going to allocate towards this task. What are the things that, I want to get done for the day? I take it one day at a time. It's all about being present. And then I say, okay, well, I'm going to sleep 4 hours, and then I'm going to be working for 20 hours, right? So I write down what I got to do, and then every hour I have a to-do list, every hour on the hour. And now I set a goal to get between 7 and 9 things done every hour. Okay? So now, and I found that with taking that approach, I'm getting more done in a day than most people get done in a year. Okay? And then I'm creating a gap between myself and the competition by just having more things that I'm doing in a day. So this is how I increase my productivity, by just timelining each day and identifying things I need to do every hour by hour, and not setting weekly goals, but setting daily goals. Because sometimes if you set weekly goals and monthly goals, to be honest, you'll never fucking reach them. And most people won't. And most people won't tell you that. Most people won't tell you that. Like a lot of people. Is the view still good? Is my view good? Is the camera angle good?
It's still good. It's
okay.
Still good.
Okay. So most so-called entrepreneurs or people who have conversations about this, they're full of shit. They're lying. They're they're just lying, right? And I know I call bullshit because I know what works and what doesn't work. You sitting there trying to set long-term goals, the shit don't work. You trying to set midterm goals, monthly goals, the shit don't fucking work. Weekly goals barely works. The best way to set a goal is to set it for the day. Okay? Set a daily goal. And then within that day, do different goals hour by hour. And then when you develop the habit of meeting the goals that you set daily, then weekly and monthly, you'll see yourself scale organically. And then once you have developed the habit of reaching the goals that you prioritize daily, now you're in a position to set a longer term of a goal, but you have to develop short-term goals. And by short-term, I mean day by day. And you have to develop those actual habits of, being consistent with things. And then when you develop the habit of consistency, then you can leverage consistency to set a bigger goal for yourself.
Absolutely. That's extremely important what you just said. Set daily goals, because the daily goals are more accomplishable than long-term goals. It's like, New Year's resolutions. People say, I'm going to go to the gym. And then after 2 weeks, they just stop.
Yeah.
Basically, when you stop, you sabotaging your own growth.
So instead of you saying you're going to go to the gym, just go outside, find a fucking scaffold, find a park, find something. If you can't find a park, just wherever you stand, do 10 squats. That's more powerful than saying, I'm going to the gym, I'm gonna get a gym membership. Wherever the fuck you stand, we all have smartphones. Set a timer for 5 minutes and do squats for 5 fucking minutes straight. That is more powerful than setting a goal that you're never going to reach. When you're in the entry level, there's no such thing as that shit don't work. It's only day by day. And the only thing you actually can execute is day by day. So why set a plan for tomorrow and tomorrow didn't come? Why set a plan for yesterday? Oh yeah, I'm going to go back. I'm telling you, I'm going to go back in time. And when I went to prom, instead of me wearing that shitty velvet lavender fucking tuxedo, I'm going to wear the black one. Not going to fucking happen. Right? Or you saying, next year, 2025, I'm telling you, man, I'm taking over. No, you're fucking not. I'm here to burst your fucking fake bubble. Whatever you plan to do tomorrow, if you can't do 50% of that shit today, it won't happen. Whatever you plan to do tomorrow, if you can't do 50% of that shit today, right now, then set a different goal for yourself. Because if you can't even do 50% of that shit today, how do you develop momentum to actually do it tomorrow?
I agree with you. Your habits create your character, and your character creates your destiny. And what I do, I like to call it the 7 before 7. What's the 7 things I'm going to do before 7 o'clock in the morning? Once I get those things accomplished, then I got the rest of the day to just focus on deal flow and build great relationships.
Now what's 7 times 7?
Now throughout the years,
what's 7 times 7? What's 7 times 7?
14.
No. What's 7 times 7?
7 times 7 is, oh, I'm sorry, 49.
49. So what's the 49 things you're going to get done before 7? Get it?
Absolutely.
7
Absolutely.
p.m.
Absolutely.
Right?
There you go.
What's the
Absolutely.
49 things you're going to get done before 7 p.m.? So that means every hour you gave yourself 7 things to accomplish.
Mm,
You see?
I like
So
that.
now you got 49 things you got done in one day.
Mm,
Most people can't get 49 things done in the fucking year. So you're getting more done in a day than the average person gets done in the fucking year. And remember, this is why you have to prioritize your goals. And you know, you have to be honest with yourself, right? You have to be honest with yourself, you know, and you set goals based upon your ability to execute. So how are you saying 2025 is going to be your year? You're going to take over, you're going to dominate in your business arena, but you haven't even created a fucking business plan or incorporated yourself. You're just full of shit. You're just talking.
mm-hmm.
And I even get on my manager about this, and I tell him all the time, you know, because I'm very ruthless when it comes to staying grounded. Okay, no matter what success you have, every transaction is one transaction. No matter how much money you make, making money is making money in this transaction. Whatever success you had doesn't matter. You're right back to ground zero with this transaction. And when you treat it like that, when you treat it like that and you have that level of commitment to maintaining a quality experience that you provide in spite of the success that you have, you're constantly searching for innovative ways, and you're constantly striving to reinvent yourself and keep your business fresh, viable, and valuable. Then no amount of success you have or of having or had, you're going to keep that same level of commitment that made you successful to begin with. That's for people a little more advanced. But for the people just starting out, you have to, it's only one day at a time. Stop worrying about New Year's resolutions. Stop worrying about what you're going to do in 6 months. Stop worrying about, I hate that question. Where do you see yourself 5 years from now? Man, get the fuck out of here. Whoever made up those type of questions are idiots. Look, where are you going to be? Where are you going to be? Where do you see yourself the next 5 minutes from now? Because the accumulation of 5 minutes leads to 5 years. Right? Whoever you are today, there's a high probability that you're going to be that same motherfucker tomorrow. So if you don't start changing what you do daily, then it doesn't matter, you know, planning 10 years up the road, because you're going to be in the same spot anyway.
I agree with you. You know, I interviewed the millionaires and the hectomillionaires and the billionaires of the world, and I appreciate them because what I found out throughout the years is access is power. And a lot of people.
No, wait, hold on. Access is only, not to cut you off, access is only power if they're paying it forward. A lot of times, and because we're talking entrepreneurship, and I want the people that watch this to understand. It don't matter who you know. It matters what you know and who knows you. Okay? All that who you know shit is bullshit. Because unless if I gotta, like, okay, I got a couple people that I have their contact. They're not my friends. They're not associates. I can say I have their contact number. I can't call these motherfuckers and be like, yo, look, man, I'm starting this company. You know, my track record is good. I need $5 million. And these people got $50 million in their bank account. I can't get $5,000 from them. So there's this misconception of, like, your network is your network is your net worth. Your network is only your net worth if your network is comprised of customers and you have a product to service those actual customers. Okay? Because there's white business and then there's black business, unfortunately, right? So I seen your interview you did with the so-called billionaire, because I don't know if he's liquid, and he talked about Think and Grow Rich, right? Because that book changed my life. And you know, the book Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, right? And when I read all these books by white authors, I forgot to read the fine print. The recessives and the colonizers view me as a nigger. So when I went out into the world, thinking it was just peaches and cream, I still had to deal with racism. I still had to deal with nepotism. So I had to create a different approach to how I applied the knowledge that I was obtaining from these so-called billionaires and rich white men. And I found that as a black man going into America, going into corporate America, you got to be way more assertive, way more aggressive, way more ruthless, way more sure of yourself. And that level of confidence will carry you to the highest level of success that you won't even seem imaginable. And I always look at people who have a lot of money, like if you have a lot of money, can you hear me?
I can hear you now, but you faded out on me.
Oh, what I said was, I saw I've watched your interviews and stuff like that. And I have a real issue with these so-called billionaires and successful people. I'm not kissing their ass. Our ancestors, built this country. We built this country. So these so-called billionaires, they're only that wealthy because of the slave trade and what our people, the 400 plus years of free labor that they had. And most of these people that are so-called billionaires, they're not cutting checks. They're not, they're not investing in what we're doing. And I know a lot of people who have money that don't do shit for entrepreneurs. And you think because this is your friend, you're good because you know someone who's rich. Get the fuck out of here. If I got to do this by myself, and you're not going to support, and then you're only going to support once I don't need you, because now you're going to try to take credit for helping me, you're not a friend. Get the fuck out of here. You see what I got going on? You're a billionaire. I got a small platform. Hey, look, I want to get a radio tower. I'm doing good. I'm doing God's work. I want to get a radio tower. How about you invest for 20% equity in my media company and help me grab a satellite, man, and see how the conversation goes. If you're watching this and you're black and you're entrepreneur and you're going to business, understand that the knowledge that you learned in school is different applying it as a black man than a white man acquiring that knowledge and applying it to corporate America or to the corporate world. And it was very discouraging because I did everything right. I bought the Snowball, which was the only autobiography. Warren Buffett never had an official autobiography, but this was the only autobiography that he validated. It's called The Snowball. It's like 1,300 pages. I studied that book like the Bible. I grabbed up Intelligent Investor by Benjamin Graham, Against the Odds, Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. Every Tony Robinson book. I mean, you name it. I'm grabbing all these books on business, and it was very discouraging because I did everything right. I did everything the book told me to do, and I didn't get the same outcome that the white man got. So it's like you buy a pancake mix and you follow the ingredients. You get you get a little bit of egg, you get a little bit of milk, right? Put a little butter on the skillet, you put it in there, and you never get a pancake. You just keep getting a turd of dog shit. And you're like, what the fuck is this? So we have, as African Americans in America, we have to deal with so much pushback. We have to understand that your application of knowledge is going to be different than someone else that's from another culture. You're going to have to deal with crabs in the barrel mentality. You're going to have to deal with nepotism. You're going to have to deal with ageism. You're going to have to deal with sexuality. If I'm not a homosexual, so a lot of black men in corporate America, in order for them to climb the ladder, they have to be emasculated. A lot of black women, if they're honest, they'll let you know they have to deal with sexual harassment. It's disgusting, right? And so I went through many years of being discouraged because I'm not going to compromise. I'm not going to bend. I'm not going to do nothing strange for no change. I'm not gonna sell my soul. I'm not kissing nobody's ass. I don't care if you're a billionaire or a fucking pennynaire. You're a human being, and you're gonna respect me like I'm gonna respect you.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't look at people from other
Mm-hmm.
cultures like they're better than me. No, if you had to live 10 years as a black man, you would have never got to where you got.
Mm-hmm.
So I applaud you before I applaud Grammy, okay? Grammy, okay? I applaud you before I applaud a Warren Buffett, before I applaud a Steve Jobs or Bill Gates. We are the true champions.
Mm-hmm.
We are the true leaders of America. And it's very important that we develop the confidence that is necessary for us to get our just due. So and I'm giving you and for people watching this is a very powerful video because you're getting the real. You're not getting the fake. Okay? And I'm telling you, you can do everything right, but still get treated like a nigger. So this is why I had to get into direct to consumer, because I couldn't take the disrespect that I was getting from corporate America. Okay? So when that's why you asked me about B2B, I said depending on the business. And that was and this is the context for why I said, you know, I prefer direct to consumer versus business to business.
Absolutely. And everything that you said is very necessary, you know, for different cultures as well as our culture.
Absolutely.
And
Yeah.
you know, I consider myself a nigga, never ignorant, getting goals accomplished. So that's what you're doing right now, Smart. And you are waking up the world with your message. And
right, but
your message is your brand identity.
But let me just say something. An acronym and a word is two different things. You're not a nigger. You're not a nigger. You're a god. You're a god. You see? So we have to understand, you know, I don't have to turn sugar. I don't have to turn shit into sugar. I don't have to turn chitlins into a delicacy anymore. The word nigger is nothing more than the parts of the pig that slaves had to make palpable, right? And they had to make these things digestible, so they seasoned them up and they made shit taste like sugar. And the word nigger, we don't have to convert or switch or try to make the chitlin a delicacy, something that is not good for us or palpable, right? We're not niggers. We're not bitches. We're gods. We're not even entrepreneurs. We're conquerors. We're innovators. We're builders. We are builders, right? And when we understand who we are, we can start tapping in and being the beneficiary of what comes with being who we are, which are gods, builders, original man, innovators. This is why the white man or the recessive, because they are recessively inferior genetically to us, they have created so much propaganda through media to perpetuate superiority. And that great lie has now generated a societal acceptance of white superiority, which is not true, and black inferiority, which is not true, when in actuality, as a people, we are superior in every facet. We're superior genetically, we're superior culturally, we're superior financially, we're superior in resources. We are God's chosen people. So when we understand who we are, now we can start projecting who we are into the world and then get the benefits from that. So this is why it's important to understand the mindset. This is why it's important to use words that empower, not disempower. This is why it's important for us to understand that we don't have to convert poisonous foods or poisonous attributes into something that we feel is palpable or acceptable for us. We're not niggers. We're gods, goddesses, kings, queens, rulers. This is who we are. But yeah, I'm listening. Go ahead, brother.
Mm. That was a powerful message. And you're absolutely right. We are kings and queens. I mean, you know, as a culture collectively, you know, we invented mathematics, we invented the written word, we invented technology, and technology is constantly evolving. Let's talk about the power of using video. Now, I know a couple of years back, Google bought YouTube for $1.6 billion. So video is hot right now. Can you explain to the audience the power of using video? And should entrepreneurs and business owners use video to expand their brand?
I mean, mm, I mean, yes and no. It depends on it. I mean, it depends on the brand, right? So the greatest, the greatest YouTube channel is your mind,
Mm,
right? This is why a book, this is why a book is more powerful than a movie,
mm,
right? So I don't believe that, you know, one is greater than the other. I believe that everybody's application is it's not an application thing, it's an application thing, right? It's not an application thing, it's an application thing. Meaning it's not an application in terms of like app, like software. It's an application means it's an application thing means your ability to execute your input, your attention to detail, your consistency. Whatever you're consistent at, you will develop a success in that area. So the application of your effort
mm,
is what is going to lead to success, not the usage of an actual video application. But if you decide to use
mm.
video or audio, it's just going to amplify your effort. So I believe both are necessary, and neither one is greater than the other.
So once people like you, respect you, and know you, that's when their minds are made up and they want to invest in you because you are your brand.
I mean, depends on what they're knowing. You could be a piece of shit, and we could know you're a piece of shit, right? So you have right. So you have to make sure that people know you for something that is valuable, and that validity actually
Mm,
adds value to the person that is aware of who you are. They're not aware of who you are. They are aware of the value that you add, and now they respect who you are because you're actually adding value to them as a customer through your product or through your service or through your business.
mm. Smart, can you explain to the audience what is the best advice that you have ever received on a personal level as well as on a professional level?
Think before you do. Don't do before you think.
Mm, mm. Wow. Now, let's talk about delegation. Now, I know the minimum wage of a millionaire is around $524 an hour. So I always tell people in my network, what can you delegate for $524 an hour? Or you can go beyond that. What can you delegate that's within your current budget? How important it is for entrepreneurs and business owners to delegate tasks out that they're not currently good at so they can just focus on
That's
increasing their
listen,
revenues in their
listen.
businesses.
That's bullshit. Okay, delegating is another word for enabling. Everybody likes to use these. Listen, let me tell you something. Stop trying to go to parts of the library that your library card can't afford to get you in just yet. People like to use those special words like delegation and big words and shit like that. That shit is bullshit. There's no such. Listen, you have to lead out front. You got to lead by example. Okay, it's too much. It's too much.
Hmm.
It's too much bullshit. It's too much technology. It's too much lazy people. It's too much scams and cons and stuff like that. You want to, if you want to be a millionaire, you want to be a billionaire, you want to really get some fucking money, you got to micromanage everything you fucking do until you have enough money that will cover your expenses for 2,000 fucking years on this planet. Period. And that's the real advice. And people want to talk about, let's talk about numbers. Let's talk about wealth. Look, generational wealth is this. Your living expenses I came up with. This is what I came up with. Generational wealth is this. Living expenses times 4 times 12 times 100. That's one generation of wealth. Whatever your living expenses is, times that by 4, times that by 12, then times that by 100. That is the financial goal that you can actually visualize as your fucking ticket out of slavery. That will lead to your financial freedom and will put you in a position to create one generation of wealth. And in terms of delegating, yo, what the fuck are you delegating? People be fronting. You're not gonna delegate shit. Listen, it's a powerful adage. That is all. He said, if you want something done, do it yourself. You want to allocate to your motherfucking self. The first person you should allocate to is that person you see in a goddamn mirror. Okay? And tell that motherfucker to do something, because you can't even allocate shit to yourself, but you worrying about allocating to somebody else. Let's be real. Let's have a real conversation. You're not gonna, and when you're successful at allocating to yourself, the people that you would so-called be allocating to, they're not gonna need to be allocated, because they're gonna follow your lead. And that's the best allocation.
Absolutely.
Leadership. Right? And everybody wants to, everybody's so entitled because there's too much fucking videos. It's too much fucking videos, right? It's too much fucking YouTube videos telling you what people who are not entrepreneurs trying to teach you how to be entrepreneurs. People who never made no fucking money trying to teach you how to make money, because their hustle, their scam is making money off of teaching you how to make money, but they never made no money to begin with. So what they're teaching you is wrong. It's just wrong. And then you look at people who are so-called billionaires, but they don't do shit for you. They don't do shit for the community. They damn sure don't do nothing for no black people. But they want to be interviewed and celebrated. But you ain't cutting no checks. You ain't passing no plugs. You ain't opening no doors for me. You're not really helping me do anything. And when we have a conversation, you're not even giving me the real fucking recipe for success. Because most people who are that so-called wealthy don't want company. Damn sure don't want no nigga as no guest in their financial home. This is their mindset. So they're going to give you misinformation and incomplete strategies, and it's just a jerk-off fest. Excuse my fucking French. Comment allez-vous, motherfucker. Okay? So we ain't going to be sitting here playing. You stop worrying. You don't allocate to nobody. You don't allocate to nobody. You allocate to your motherfucking self. You know how hard it is to say, okay, self, we're getting up today at 6 a.m. and we're not going back to sleep until 6 a.m. What? We're getting up at 6 a.m. Okay, we're up. Okay, you're in the mirror now. You want to allocate, motherfucker? Allocate to yourself. Okay, self. Yes, sir. What do you need me to do, sir? Today you're going to work and from 6 a.m. to 6 a.m. What? Now you got a lot of insubordination coming. Now you got a lot of excuses coming. Master allocating to yourself first. And then when you master yourself, your constituents, your employees, they're going to feed off your energy. Michael Jordan has to hit the big shot. And all the other Chicago Bulls are going to follow suit. Babe Ruth has to hit the home run. If Babe Ruth is striking out every time he's up at bat, right? Like, and as the entrepreneur, so-called, as the owner, as the CEO of your business, you're the star player. You're the star athlete. And your performance is what sets the tone. So stop talking about what performance should be done and get your ass on the ground and start performing. Allocate your ass.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Now I know the big businesses like the BlackRocks of the world and Vanguards, they pretty much is on a system where they do pretty much do a lot of delegation, because when you pretty much are a billionaire or a
You're not a
trillionaire dollar
billionaire.
company.
Listen, this is for people watching. You're not a billionaire. Stop trying to use these examples. I don't want to hear about none of these big companies. You cannot, it does not matter, right? Like, why? I'm not worrying about none of these big fucking companies. That's unrealistic. You're looking at somebody who has a 600, 700 year head start, and how they started their company. They not gonna tell you, oh, you had slaves, you murdered somebody, you robbed somebody for this business, you had the mob or a fucking hitman murder the person and give you the deeds to their property. I'm not about to be sitting here studying these so-called massive companies, because all those massive companies are evil. Every single one, they're evil. People like to look at, these big companies and, yeah, this is how you do business. No, you got to start with yourself. You're on the ground level. You're on the ground, entry level. You're entry level. You're a fucking pen. You're not an oil company. Stop it. You're one fucking pen. So worry about that one goddamn pen, and you can't even fucking sell that. You can't even sell one fucking pen. You talking about Google. You're talking about Microsoft. You're talking about, you Vanguard and Tesla and Elon Musk and them boys. You can't even sell a fucking rubber band. You talking about? Listen, stop. And this is the danger of all these goddamn videos and information. You got to put your blinders on. I can tell you, all the founders of those big companies, they wasn't on YouTube watching videos. They was outside on the ground adding fucking value.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And I'm successful. And I'm successful today because I spent years and years of adding value direct to consumer. I'm working. I'm on the ground level. I'm selling, hand to hand, selling my products, selling my CDs, selling my cosmetics. Everybody wants to make up this fantasy of how sexy it is to be an entrepreneur. This shit is dirt dog work. Everybody wants to try to tell you the ease. It ain't no easy way to get money, baby. You gonna work hard. You gonna cry. You gonna feel pain. You gonna have doubt. You gonna have fear. You better learn how to control your emotions. This is why I say everything is about the mindset, understanding how you feel, understanding how to avoid anxiety, how to avoid depression, how to avoid doubt, and you avoid anxiety by meditating. You avoid fear by executing, because the more you do something, you realize there ain't nothing to be afraid of, because you just fucking attack, right? This is the real shit. And you can only do it day by day. And success could put you in a coffin, not take you to the elevator that's going to take you to the top. Because when you get successful, you get content, you get comfortable, and every day is a new day. Every day is a new day. So you have to set daily goals, and you have to wipe your if you made $1 billion on Monday, you got to say, well, Tuesday I'm on 0.0000000. And when you think like that and you hustle like that, you'll never fucking fall off. Because it's not a sprint, it's a marathon. And it's not about instant gratification. Business is about delayed gratification. So if you're not prepared to run a fucking marathon, to climb a fucking mountain, to run the gauntlet, get your ass a job at Mickey D's, motherfucker.
Yeah. You're absolutely correct.
Would you like fries with that?
Even with that. You're absolutely correct, Smart. And I know, Ray Kroc basically took over that franchise with the McDonald's franchise, but it wasn't for the McDonald brothers selling the franchise to him, he never would have had the opportunity to take that brand to the next level. And I love having a team. And I know team stands for together, everyone achieves miracles. I wrote down some powerful words, Smart. 10 being the highest and 1 being the lowest. So you can rate them in your own influential way. Are you ready?
Wait, say it again with the numbers.
10 being the highest and 1 being the lowest.
Okay, go ahead.
Accountability.
What about it?
I was saying you could rate the words from 10 to 1, 10 the highest and 1 the lowest. How would you rate accountability?
Well, accountability is important, right? But there's layers to accountability. Now, if Pinocchio is still under the strings of Geppetto, and Pinocchio is blaming himself, not realizing that there's a invisible iron cable hanging 3,000 miles in the sky, and the great hands of Geppetto is pulling him in different directions that's leading to his own personal destruction or demise, then he's not sufficient in his effort of identifying accountability, the totality of the accountability of his personal situation. Accountability is important, but every level of accountability, because our people have been taught to hold themselves accountable while other people get let off the hook, and they don't take accountability for poisoning our communities with Chinese rats disguised as chicken being sold to us. They don't take accountability for spraying chemtrails over our neighborhoods that alter our mental state. They don't take accountability for putting chemicals in the marijuana that are prescription pills and drugs. They don't take accountability for sicking guard dogs and putting police officers in our neighborhood to create a hostile environment. They don't take accountability for using media and propaganda and propagating, black crime and black murder and creating genres like drill, right? So yes, accountability is important, but the white man needs to be held accountable for the issues that we deal with in America. We never got reparations. We never got the so-called 40 acres and a mule. We never got even goddamn anything. And if you wasn't going to give us reparations, at least make it easier for a black man to open up a commercial business. No, they want 4 months, 6 months rent in advance, which is fucking illegal, right? So yes, accountability is important, but making sure that you do your full recon on the word accountable, right? And you hold every party accountable. And accountability is not and will never be equal. It will always be disproportionate in certain situations. And white people are to blame for the lack of success that our people have in America. And so yes, accountability is very high on my value chart. But I know the full extent of what accountability is in correlation to our people and our plight, especially in business.
Perseverance.
Same thing with accountability, right? If someone, if the hamster doesn't realize that the hamster is blindfolded running on this fucking wheel, you're preserving for no reason, because no matter how much you preserve and how much you run, you're still running in place. You're still in some fucking white man's laboratory, in a so-called rat race, right? And so you have to have purposeful perseverance, right? Because if you're hanging off a cliff and you have no way of getting back up, and every time you get back up, somebody's going to strategically place you right back to hang off the cliff, and you don't address the fact that you're being made to hang off this cliff, your perseverance is going to mean nothing, right? So yes, perseverance is important, but perseverance has to be purposeful, so you're not fighting a losing battle, and you're not letting your durability just postpone your own demise or destruction.
Value.
Well, I mean, I don't know if you're doing this on purpose, but it's the same thing, right? Value is you have to understand, who you actually are, right? Because you can't have any type of external value until you have an internal value. So now you have to understand, like, and everybody's watching this. This is not scripted. He's really just giving me these words. First time I'm hearing him say these words, but it's just, I guess it's just where, all those words are connected in a particular way. But same thing with value, right? Like, you have to know what is your true value, and what are the things in place that is a hindrance to you identifying the actual value of yourself. And then once you identify the things that are of hindrance, then you can start the process of isolating and insulating yourself from those things that stop you from identifying who you are and what your actual value is. Which is a God, black man.
Financial literacy.
Man, same thing, right? Financial literacy only comes from financial disparity. Financial literacy only comes from trial and error, right? So you have to apply yourself and then understand the education for whatever business that you created to make money. There's no one shoe size fits all for financial literacy, because there's so many different ways to make money, and every different way to make money requires a different level of skill and knowledge acquisition. So if you're a great basketball player, when you're in team meeting and the coach is going over the plays, it's not the same as if you're a hockey player or a soccer player going over the playbook. So financial literacy is dependent on your execution in not only how your mind works, but actually how you're making money.
Wealth.
We went over this, right? We talked about generational wealth. Wealth is nothing more than your living expenses times 4 times 12 times 100. Your living expenses times 4 times 12 times 100. And that times 4 will take into account any possible inflation that will come. Living expenses times 4 times 12 times 100. That is what financial wealth is. And then mental wealth is the maintaining of your true self and knowledge of your true self, right? That is the mental wealth. And then the emotional wealth is the feelings you feel by maintaining your mental wealth. And your financial wealth, again, is your living expenses times 4 times 12 times 100.
Health.
Shit, if you're dead, you're dead. Right? So, health is important, right? Shit, if you're broke, you ain't gonna have no money to buy no good foods. So, paying attention to your diet, right? Health is, obviously I'm rating all these things a 10 because, like you said, the valuation scale, your numerical valuation scale 10 was the highest. So I'm giving all these things a 10, but I'm not just saying, how much I value these things. I'm actually giving the context to why I value these things and why these things should be valued, right? But health is a 10. Health is very important, and you have to be mindful of, detoxifying your body, doing intermediate fasting, doing juice fasting, easing up on the meat, giving up the pork, not smoking, not drinking, not doing prescription drugs and popping e-pills. I know being freaky feels good, but it's not going to be good for your organs and your fucking brain long term, or your fucking spine. So yeah, health is important because if you're not alive, you can't enjoy it or even spend it.
Marriage.
Definitely. I think marriage is important because it's part of your legacy, right? It's how it's how we're gonna procreate and create structure for the generations of wealth that that we create. And marriage has a blueprint. In every religious book ever, this is the one thing that they actually got right. In all the religious books. It's a lot of BS in these religious books, but when you open up a Bible, you open up a Quran, you open up a Torah, everything God said in these books about marriage, it's a blueprint. Follow that and you're going to be happily married, but follow it to the T. Don't follow it in a perverted kind of a way. Follow that shit to the T, and you won't just be married, but you'll be happily married, and you'll have a long-lasting marriage.
Revenue calendar.
Oh man, now that's right up my alley right there. That's what I created, right? The revenue calendar is just the financial goals that you set. I mean, revenue calendar, hey, that's the 10 times 10 on my list, because you have to set financial goals for, you know, you have to set financial goals for the goals that you set. You have to set financial goals for your work. You have to set financial goals for your applications. You have to set financial goals for the products that you're selling. You have to set financial goals for your effort and your input, right? So and those financial goals that you set for your business, for your company, for your products, for your services, those things will be on the revenue calendar. So I think a revenue calendar is extremely important.
Abundance.
Man, wow, yeah, this is another thing, man. Okay, you trying to go 10 for 10 for 10, huh? Well, I think having an abundant mindset is important. I think abundance is very important, and understanding how to use that word and create a mantra out of that word, abundance, right? I think every black man, every black man, every black woman should definitely create a mantra revolving around the word of abundance. And we have to live in abundance. We have to view things through that a lens of abundance, right? So yeah, I think that word is very, very important, very pertinent.
Profit and loss statement.
Mm, I give that about a 5. Um,
Hmm.
I give that about a 5. I think profits and losses, or I think I think I think I think think they're connected, but not too closely connected. Um, Again, you'll make profit when you have a valuable business, and you're consistent with applying a strategy, and you're gonna take a loss when you stop adding value. As long as you add value, you'll never take a loss. So yeah, I give that about a 5.
Cash flow.
Cash flow, I give that about a 10. And I actually, you got cash flow and you got capital gain, right? You got capital gain is more delayed gratification. Cash flow is more instant gratification. But for business, I think cash flow is a 10. I think cash flow is super, super important, because cash flow is almost like the litmus test for um, you know, not only just longevity in a business, but that business's ability to provide you with an opportunity to pivot. So if you're making money, you have something that's viable, and if you have money, because you have something that's viable, then you can maintain it, scale it, or to or bare minimum, you could pivot to something else.
Customer acquisition.
That's everything. I mean, that's it. I can't even say it's a 10. That might be a million, right? Acquiring customers, but and you acquiring customers is the most important thing, especially in my business model, because I live in, I live off of the customers that I acquire, right? And the only way to have um successful customer acquisition is adding value. So the focus should be value, not trying to get over on your customers, not trying to create a Ponzi scheme, not trying to sell customers bullshit, but how can you genuinely add value to the customer, and then reverse engineer that value back to yourself. But it starts with the value that you add to the customer, and that will actually help you acquire customers.
Top line revenue.
Say it again.
Top line revenue.
Top line revenue. Man, I'm stuck between Let me not rush. Top line, top line revenue can be a gift and can be a curse. Because remember, being lean, having your, being lean, being flexible, and having your hand on a pulse has everything to do with new new revenue, new sales, new cash flow. So I think it's important to be aware of how much money your business is making, but not let that be a noose wrapped around your brand's neck that hangs it, because it can make you rigid, right? So I think it's important to know how much you're making, but I think it's more important to keep making, to keep making. So
Marketing.
say it again.
Marketing.
Man, yeah, I mean, marketing, it depends, right? These are almost like trick questions, right? Because if you're not adding value and you're marketing something that doesn't add value, then your marketing is not going to, it's a bad thing, right? It's not, it's not going to be, viable for your business long term. But if you have something that is adding value, then marketing is everything. If you have something that doesn't add value, then why would you market something that's going to actually destroy your business? You might want to pour that energy more into product development versus marketing a product that is still underdeveloped. It needs to be more developed. So I feel like marketing is a 10 if you have a product that adds, or product or service that adds value, but that shit is a negative 10 if you have something that devalues the customer or doesn't provide the best actual service.
Energy.
Oh man, there's no number for that. That breaks the scale, right? Because how you think creates how you feel. How you feel becomes an emotion. That emotion becomes a vibration. That vibration becomes a magnet that attracts things to you. So yeah, there's that. There's no number there's no number that can. There's no number. There's no numerical umbrella that is wide enough for energy to be under.
God.
Oh man, shit. If you know, you know. If you know, you know. If you know, you know. We can't, we can't put the supreme creator, under no type of a rating system, right? If you know, you know. If you don't know, I pray that you do know. But God is the greatest.
Wisdom.
Yeah, same thing. I give, I give wisdom, I give wisdom a 10, but wisdom derived from experience, not some type of Colgate or institution or some type of a textbook, right? Experiences is the best teacher, and wisdom comes from experience. So I give it a 10 if it's from experience. I give it a 2 if it's from a textbook.
Brainstorming.
Man, same thing with wisdom. Shit, if you know, um, if you're in a group, I mean, it depends, right? Brainstorming can be, it could be personal, or it could be a coalition, it could be a collective, or it could just be, it could be personal or interpersonal, right? I think brainstorming is important, but just making sure that your weather channel has nothing but sunny days.
Introverts.
Nah, I think you got to touch. I think you got to touch the people. I think you got to be outgoing. You want to have some success. You can't add value, and you're gonna have to be a extrovert, as they say. So I give that about a 2 or 1. Can't add value.
All right. That was good, Smart.
Oh, okay. Appreciate you, man.
That was real good. That was real good. Can you explain to the audience exactly where they can find you?
Oh yeah, 917-907-3687. That's 917-907-3687. 917-907-3687. That's my mobile device number. You can holler at me. You can reach out. My Instagram is the smart guy underscore THE smart guy underscore. My manager's page is was it Dev Jeter? Smart guy fan page. Smart guy fan page, and you got the other page. What's the other page? Dev Jeter.
Dev Jeter, American Fortune Music Now.
Dev Jeter and American Fortune Music Now. And my email is globalcrispy2018@gmail.com. That's GLOBALCRISPY 2018@gmail.com. globalcrispy2018@gmail.com. When we spell crispy, CRISPY.
To everyone that's listening and watching right now, I highly recommend get involved with the phenomenal smart guy. You heard the passion that came through his voice on my show today. Now I see why he actually took his passion and turned it into phenomenal profits by delivering his phenomenal message. And I'm calling it here on this show right now. Smart, you're going to be the next hectomillionaire. And for those that don't know what hectomillionaires are, that means he'll be worth millions of dollars. He's not at the billionaire level, but he's not far from it. And I'm saying this on my show. You're going to see a lot from this young man, and he's doing a lot of great things in the world.
Definitely going to be, listen, definitely going to reach the heights of a, I'm definitely going to reach the heights of a Mansa Musa. I'm definitely going to be, I'm definitely going to crack top 3 for richest man on the planet. Definitely, for sure. I'm definitely going to one day be the richest man on this goddamn planet. That's for sure. And my wealth is going to be distributed and allocated to institutions that benefit not only our people, but people who want to work hard and just need an institution that can give them the information that they need to take their life, their brand to the next level. So yeah. Jeff Bezos, watch
now,
your
Absolutely. Amazon, they are pretty much the number 1 largest online retailer in the world.
Yeah, for sure, for now.
And he's actually investing. He want to invest in Whole Foods now.
Yeah, for now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just for now.
Absolutely.
It's a good old company called American that's on the way. But we'll talk about that another time. But yeah, I'm listening. Go ahead, brother. I know you're closing out.
Now, your message is definitely needed, and you're shaking up the world, and you got people thinking in regards to what is possible for them and their teams and the brands that they are building and the brands that they have in the making in regards to entrepreneurship. Now, I know that Facebook owns Instagram. Now, I look at Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, LinkedIn, Rumble. I look at all these as delivery systems. Can you explain to the audience, and I want to know your thought process in regards to how do you feel about market growth versus market innovation?
Well, innovation is what helps you grow in whatever market that you're in. Right? Like you can only get into a market because you have something that is innovative, and you can only dominate that market by maintaining your foundational stance of innovation, right? So you have to, you break into a market by being disruptive and innovative, and then you take over and you dominate that market by maintaining your innovation. Yeah. So, so there's a, you have this is why I said this is why I said, top line revenue can hurt you if you're drunk off the gross profits that your company is generating, as opposed to constantly looking for new ways to surpass your TLR.
Wow. Smart. I appreciate you for conveying value to my audience. And I know the best is yet to come. And I know you're still in the making with helping people build businesses and inspiring the mindsets of the youth.
Sure.
And I know that that's your passion. And you actually are waking up, a lot of the young heads as well as a lot of the old heads, and you got them thinking about what's possible for them. What is next for you?
I'm gonna play PS5.
Wow.
I'm gonna go home. I'm gonna I'm gonna go get me I got something to drink in the house. Yeah, I'm gonna play NBA 2K24 Mamba version.
Okay.
What's
Wow.
next for me? But next for me, PS5, a little PS5 session.
Now I know that you are in a lot of businesses and you're wearing a lot of hats right now. Now, have you ever wondered what it actually be like to own a $15 million or $20 million company with what you're currently doing, but you can add that revenue model to your current business? Have you ever wondered what it would actually be like to own a $15 million or $20 million company?
Have wondered to if no.
Okay. All right. So now, if I was willing to share with you the blueprint on how to do just that, would you be open to it?
For me personally, no, it's not necessary. You know, and I, I'm a huge advocate for just, being singularly focused, being very goal orientated, and being loyal to the goals you set, and being present. I have, I have businesses that are extremely successful. Um, I have strategic partnerships in place. And I give all my energy and my attention to that, right? And I'm not distracted with, you know, um, new information, right? So yeah.
Mhm. Do you have any last pearls of wisdom for the audience?
Yeah, I mean, just be mindful of, of how you think, right? Be mindful of being present and understanding that how you think creates how you feel. How you feel becomes an emotion. That emotion becomes a vibration. That vibration becomes a magnet that attracts things to you. Just be mindful and don't let your mind roam into nothingness. Keep yourself focused. Get you some flashcards. Write down, your mantras, and write down things that inspire you. And periodically throughout the day, visit that flashcard and read those things and read your mantras and say them out loud. I know what I want. I get what I want. I got what I want. I know it. Think before you do. Don't do before you think. Right? And reinforce those mantras that you wrote down on your flashcards. Say them out loud. Visualize, your end game. Visualize what you want from this world. Visualize the things that you want, materialistic, everything. Visualize your wildest dreams and then make those things a reality, right? Visualize how, how you're going to feel when you're in acquisition of your heart's most fondest desires, and hold on to that feeling. Project and perpetuate that feeling every single day, day by day, and I can guarantee you that you will actually materialize and manifest every desire that you have. Okay? And insulate yourself, isolate yourself, understand that you are responsible for you. Stop looking for a team to delegate to. Stop looking for a team to uplift you, because God has already uplifted you, because your heart is working. And if your heart is beating, and you're healthy, that is your inclination. That is the sign to go grind. That is God telling you, I have done my job, my child. You are breathing, you are alive. Stop feeling so fucking entitled to other shit. You have everything you need to move to the next level. So just move to the next level and take day by day, minute by minute, hour by hour, and understand that with every second that goes by, that's a chance to turn your life around. So an hour is a lifetime filled with second chances. Being in the present, being in the now is so important, but you have to be in the know before you're in the now. So when you're in the know, then you feel confident and content with being in the now, because everything happens now, not tomorrow. Everything that happens tomorrow has to happen now first. Tomorrow, what happens tomorrow is second. What happens now is first. So prioritize your focus accordingly. Prioritize your focus adequately. And that proper allocation of time management and focus will be conducive to your success. But you have to be in the now, and now comes first, tomorrow is second.
You say you have to be in the now to be in the know. Smart, you are an intelligent man.
A little bit.
To everyone that's listening and watching right now, I highly recommend listen to this interview over and over and over again so it can reinforce your learning. Smart guy is all over the internet. He has other powerful content that can take your mindset and your business to a whole nother level. But remember, you have to implement what you learn. Knowledge is not power. The application of knowledge, that's what makes it become powerful. So to everyone that's listening and watching right now, remember that the strongest asset each and every one of you have is your brain, and what you think about and what you take action on, that will become your reality, and your mentality creates your reality. May God bless each and every one of you, and bye for now. Thank you, the smart guy. I appreciate you conveying value to my audience, and I could talk to you for hours, but I know this is just like the first drive of our relationship, but I got to get you back on the show. And this time, when you come back on the show, it's going to be you, and I'm going to have my billionaire friend. And we're going to have a dialogue about business, money, relationships, the whole nine. And I guarantee you, after when I do that show and I put out them segments, it's going to go viral.
Right, for sure. I
got to put you with one of my heavyweights.
Bring them on, champ. Bring them on.
All right, absolutely.
All right, man. Peace.